Hi everyone, my name is Belinda Weaver. I am a copywriter. I am from Copyright Matters. Now today I wanted to talk about my latest blog post, which was kind of all about creativity. And you might be thinking, yawn, another post about creativity, but I have a copywriting course called the Copywriting Masterclass, and we have regular coaching calls. And in this month's coaching call, which happened yesterday, we started talking about what our plans were for our business over Christmas. And the reason creativity is a hot topic for me right now is that, I don't know about you, but as we get closer and closer to Christmas, I'm pooped, I'm exhausted, I'm wrung out. The words just aren't coming, or at least it's a lot more difficult. So it got me thinking about how I foster my creativity over the year for each project, every day. And that's what my latest blog post was about. It's called, Is Your Creative Well Running Dry? Proven Tips to Stimulate Your Creative Self for Better Business. And that's what I wanted to talk about today because if you're feeling like me and you're just laying the tracks down as fast as you can go, then when one of your clients says, oh, we'd like something really clever and distinct in our copywriting, your brain's left with tumbleweeds. So these are some ways that I give myself some time and space to be creative every day. So it's funny, the sun's going behind clouds here and I can see the color of this video changing. But anyway, so one of the big ways that I find it a lot easier to stay creative in my copywriting is through a daily practice that I call, that is called morning pages. Now, a lot of very smart business people also do this. It's actually part of the recommended process in a book called The Artist's Way, but it's something that you do. You write, say, 3 pages, or you set your timer for 15 minutes every morning and you just write. It's stream of consciousness stuff. You don't censor, you don't think about it, you just write and write and write and write and write. And the idea about this exercise is that it kind of clears the slate of your brain, because we carry around so much chatter and clutter and to-do lists and ideas and all sorts of stuff in our brain, and we're kind of just keeping them going all the time. So the idea is we clear the slate of our brain, we get rid of that chatter and clutter, and that leaves us more time and space to be more creative. Now, I also find with my morning pages that I do, I find them very helpful before I meditate, because that's my morning routine, morning pages, then meditation. And I feel like I've had some me time and I've just kind of cleared my brain before I get into the day. And I find by doing that, I actually unknot any strategic business problems that are clearly just bubbling around up there. But it just gives my brain some breathing space every single day. Now, for me, that's all about decluttering my brain every single morning. And I think that's a really important step if you want to be able to draw on a well of creativity in your copywriting at any time, is giving your brain regular space to just breathe and be present. Now, morning pages and meditation might be a bit zen for you, and that's totally cool. So I wanted to cover some other techniques that I use and I think work really well. And that's scheduling creative time in your project. So when you take a copywriting project on and you're working out how long the writing's going to take, how long revisions will take, how much the proofreading will cost, how long the briefing's going to take, how much communication time you allow with your clients, it's also important to schedule some creative thinking time. So more often than not, if you're smart, you've got a task timer or some kind of timer where you're keeping track of how long you spend on each copywriting project, each stage of a copywriting project. That's really, really smart. But if you haven't allowed enough time in your copywriting project, you start to look at the timer and think, oh God, I'm starting to work, I'm getting close to working for free now. And that's not a great environment to do creative thinking in your copywriting. So what I recommend you do is when you're thinking about how long a copywriting project will take, and you're being asked to maybe approach something with a creative mindset, schedule that time into your project. Then you won't be stressed. Then you won't be anxious about how long it's taking to brainstorm. Now, the next one is making creative lifetime. So not a creative lifetime, creative time in your life. So at the beginning of this broadcast, I talked about how I do morning pages, and that's an everyday thing I do. Now, if you don't make time every day, and I really am only talking about 15 minutes every day, that's not a lot of time. It's also important to think about things like going for walks, or what I actually do is once a month I take half a day off and I go to a gallery or a museum, or I walk the streets of the city, or, well, that sounded a bit funny, didn't it? I don't walk the streets of the city. But what I'm talking about is 3 to 4 hours where you step away from your computer and you go and input your brain with images and ideas and words and visuals and sounds from other places around where you live, because it's those images and sounds and visuals and people and all these kind of things that you might see in galleries or museums, or just people watching in a mall for a little time. Those are creative connections that get made when you sleep, or while you write, or while you shower, or while you walk the dog. But without any creative inputs at all, your brain's got kind of nothing to work with, and it just being creative is a whole lot harder. So Hugo says, thank you for this. You're welcome, Hugo. I'm happy to share my tips. So what we're talking about here, if you think, oh, I can't take a day off, to wander around a gallery, I'm too busy. Half a day, once a month, that's what, 3 to 4 hours, and you get a payoff. And I think it's really, what we're also talking about here is the mindset. How much do you value your creative self? And if you don't value it, then it's almost impossible to rely on. But if you prioritize it and you value it, then you'll have a creative well of ideas that will work themselves into your copywriting. And it might be the metaphors you write, the similes you use, the language you use, all these kind of things is drawn from your own creativity. So we're talking about making a little bit of time every day just to clear the clutter of your brain. So it's not just constant chatter going on, and I use morning pages and meditation to do that, but you might do a quick walk with no podcasts, no music, and no thinking about work. Maybe that's something you do. So a little bit of time every day. We're talking about scheduling creative thinking time into your project so your copywriting isn't rushed and you have time and space to just let ideas connect. And we're also talking about making time in your life, so valuing and prioritizing creative time. And for me, I do that once a month. One Friday, half a day, make it a whole day if you can do it, but half a day is enough. That's 4 hours over 30 days. I'm sure you can find that time where you just go and plug your brain into something else. Create, maybe you paint, maybe you want to draw, maybe you do some coloring in, maybe that's your daily activity. Maybe you just mooch around a gallery, maybe you people watch, but it's about closing the laptop, getting into a creative space and giving yourself permission to just be there and accept new inputs, because what we're talking about here is a cumulative result. A little bit every day, time as part of each project, and a little bit of time every month that will build up lots of resources in your brain so that when you need to turn your creativity on, you've got stuff there. Even when you don't need to turn it on, I think you'll find that your copywriting improves as you just have, your brain's had more rest, your brain's had more creative inputs. You just have more time and space to be creative in your copywriting and in your life. So, we're talking about maybe 5, 6, 7 hours each month. Not even that. That's 4 hours of an activity once a month. That's maybe an hour for each copywriting project you do, and 15 minutes every day for some kind of creative activity. Colouring in, morning pages, meditation. Just give yourself permission and time to clear the slate of chatter that we all have going on in our brain and value and prioritise some creative activities. So they're my tips to help you stimulate your creative self for better business, especially at the time of year when we're all pooped. We're all done in, the words just aren't coming. Make time over Christmas to take a break and enjoy not working. And then when you tackle in the new year, I really, really recommend you use some of these tips to keep your creative self ticking over. So if you're watching this, I would love to know in the comments your tips on keeping your creative well full, because as copywriters, as designers, as business people, ideas are our business and we have to maintain our creativity. It's important. So thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful. Leave your comments. I'd love to hear what you think on this. So yes, once again, my name is Belinda Weaver. My business is Copyright Matters. You can go to copywritematters.com to read the full blog post on this very topic, copywritematters.com. And there's also tons of free content, my copywriting courses and coaching and tons of other stuff that's awesome. So thank you very much. Enjoy your Christmas and your day and your weekend. Maybe in reverse order.